Welcome back. You're still tuning in on your favorite afternoon show. Did I mention that this is the best show in Mzansi? Well, I already know that you guys already know that. But on the Yellow Couches, we're joined by Michelle Allen, and we are talking everything mental health. But right by now, before we do that, Rizal has some stats about mental health.
Yes, I do. As the sheriff, I need to do research.
Why? Why?
But anyway, I'm just going to kick straight to it. Now, an estimated 400 million people worldwide suffer from mental or neurological disorders or from a psychosocial problem. Now, mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and job stress are common. This, in turn, is affecting individuals, their families and co-workers, and the broader community. Now, in addition, they have a direct impact on workplaces through an increased absenteeism, reduced productivity, and increased costs. It's all. It's a handful. It's a mouthful.
That's what I want to say. It is also a frightening fact that around a fifth of all South Africans will experience a depressive disorder at least once during their lifetime. Even scarier is that more than 60% will not get the necessary help. Very few South Africans seek treatment for their mental disorders, and it is important to know that mental illness can be treated at your nearest clinic, hospital, or health care provider.
And there's always help.
There's always help.
But Michelle is here
Yes.
to talk about her anxiety and depression that she actually had to overcome, and she is an actress. Michelle, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. So please tell the viewers at home a little bit about yourself,
I am a small town girl. I originally grew up on a farm, so the idea of having mental illness and being in the industry that I am in it's heightened because I'm naturally just want to be inclined to want to be in nature rather. It helps with everything around mental illness.
Yeah.
So I am originally from KZN. I moved to Cape Town after I matriculated. I went to film school, and now I'm full-time in the film industry, acting and modeling,
I like to also be an actress. So we'll talk after this. But how old were you when you were diagnosed with the mental illness?
I was 18, turning 19. I'd gone through something very emotionally traumatic. I'd lost my sibling, and I didn't really understand what I was going through. I'd always known that there was something, not always right, and I'd always have situations where I'd be fighting with someone in my life, and I'd be feeling things I didn't understand, and I thought maybe it was only because of what I had just gone through in my life. And I eventually took the plunge, and I was like, let me go and see somebody and just discuss what's going on. And that is when I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression.
Wait, so I need to understand. So you say that when you feel things that you didn't understand, or let's say you would cry, but you don't know why you're crying.
Yeah.
Really?
The thing about anxiety, and especially depression, is people feel sad all the time, and there are certain things that make us feel sad. So when we do feel sad, and in a natural way, we almost don't understand why.
Yeah.
So when I say I felt things I didn't understand, there are many days, even now that I know what I suffer from, there are days that I don't want to get out of bed. And it's not even like you can't even describe it. It's like, I just don't want to. I don't want to. I have plans. I'm not even going to go to them. I don't want to deal with it. I have gone through phases when I used sleeping tablets to help me just not even deal with things. And I would just sleep in the day because I just didn't want to do anything. Yeah. So all your symptoms come in different forms. And you're looking at me like, oh my goodness.
No, I'm looking because
something's up. Yeah.
I think something's because I have the very same symptoms.
Yeah.
I know I went through a really bad ordeal in my life.
Yes.
And everything that you're saying is exactly what I'm going through right now.
And so it's quite hectic.
Yeah.
And actually, my grandmother and my uncle kept saying to me I should go and seek professional help. But I'm like, what will talking to someone do?
I promise you. Do you know, the thing is, we're like, oh, but I've got my mom to talk to if I need to.
Exactly.
I've got somebody. It's so different. As soon as you speak to someone that's got a third-party perspective, they start to explain things to you that they can't go, you're okay, you're just sad, you'll get through this. They're like, babe, there's literally, there is something wrong, we're going to talk about it. And only then do you start putting the pieces together, and you're like, you're right, there is actually, and I don't want to use the word abnormal because there's this stigma around mental illness that there's something so wrong with you, and you're actually maybe just bloody crazy. That's not how it is. I've learned to to see my mental illness as like a friend of mine who also suffers from various things. We've now learned to name it our superpowers, because it's not a problem. We're not dying. We're just way more in tune with our emotions, and I think that's actually a really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So it's just about understanding it, knowing how to work with it in your own way, and I'm so for, if you're in a depressive phase, like they come and go in waves. If I'm in one, I've told myself, feel it.
Yeah.
It'll pass when it's meant to pass.
Yeah.
Don't fight it, because I'm going to make it worse.
Yeah. And it's quite hectic, and I was just telling you earlier, that I myself, you know, I suffered from anxiety in the past, and that,
Yeah.
and at first you actually don't know what's happening, because you have all these mixed emotions in your body, and you're like, why am I feeling like this? Why can't I breathe? Why is my heart
Yes.
racing and things? And then
So that's specifically an anxiety attack.
yes.
Oh my gosh, I might
And
be
you feel all
suffering
these
from
things, and you don't know
anxiety.
what's happening. Now I want to know, when you found out that you're actually suffering from anxiety, how did you handle things then? Did you see it in a different perspective, or was it difficult?
It took a while for me to comprehend that, okay, yes, there's something,
Yeah.
I need to be dealing with this in my
Yeah.
life. But then as soon as I accepted it, it was so much easier for me to relate to what I was feeling in the moment
Yeah.
and how I needed to tackle
Yeah.
it. And I say this, you know, people have like jokingly laughed, but they see it in my eyes that I mean it. Yoga saved my life. Like, I can't even explain to you how, you see, you're like, really, yoga? Like, I can't emphasize it enough that yoga for me specifically saved my life.
Yeah.
I do Sweat 1000 as well, so like I find different alternative ways of expressing like energy that I just need to get rid of. Yoga calmed my mind. Different postures stimulate different organs. It
Yeah.
stimulates your pineal gland, which helps you sleep better. It calms you down. So it's no joke when they say, and you know, people joke and they're like, oh, but sometimes yogis are still like really angry, and it's like, imagine how angry I'd be if I didn't have yoga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when did you realize that yoga was actually was what actually needed and what
When
helped
it
you?
was kind of
It
working.
came,
Yeah.
Yes, it came to me by complete fluke. I was like, I want to do yoga because I want to be able to do splits. Like,
Yeah.
I want to just do cool stuff with my body. And only a couple months in did I look back and I was like, I'm sleeping better. I'm way calmer. I've learned to calm my breathing, and subconsciously I'm already counting to 10 before I deal with something, instead of just going from 0 to 100 in like 2 seconds. So it definitely saved me, and I think people just need to find whatever outlet works for them.
Yeah. Now I want to know, how do you handle, you know, the whole anxiety attacks, or if you feel one coming when you are acting?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you have to keep it together. So how do you handle it?
Yeah. It's an interesting question. It used to be a lot more difficult than it is now, but because I've, you know, learned to become accustomed to my emotions and how to deal with them in the moment, it's a lot easier for me to just naturally, you know, hold it in and deal with it when I can be by myself.
Yeah.
So when I feel like I'm on set and like things are getting a bit hectic, I'll go to my trailer or I'll go to the craft table and I'll just sit by myself for like 5 minutes and just, because being on set and even in this environment, it's like fast paced. It's like always on the go, and like, and ideally I don't want to talk to anybody when I'm on set, because you can become distracted so easily.
Exactly.
So usually I'm quiet and to myself, and I'm just drinking my tea and in my trailer until they call me, and then I can be what I need to be and give what I need to give.
Okay, so quickly, what advice do you have for people who are suffering from mental illness? I might be suffering from mental illness, I didn't know.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I might be suffering from
learned
anxiety, I didn't know.
today.
I'm learning today. I'm learning today.
Before I sum that up, and I'll link it in, linking back to more stats.
Yeah.
Kids today, especially in high school, because of the world we live in, and I mean social media and all these things, kids today are now, they have the anxiety levels that psychiatric patients had in the 1960s.
Oh.
So that just proves to you that more people actually do suffer from things they don't even realize it, and especially in the world that we live in, because it is so fast-paced. It takes its toll a lot quicker and a lot harder. So like you just realized, you maybe suffer from something. I recommend, if you feel like there's something, again, for lack of a better word, you're feeling something unnatural or abnormal, go and see someone. I do completely different forms of therapy. I go see a therapist, I go to a numerologist, I do Reiki healing, which is crystals, because I'm like, again, I'm just in touch with the earth and, and natural healing. So I always recommend go and see somebody if you feel like you need to. You can never talk enough about how you feel. And I'm also a very keen advocate on purging people out of your life who you feel don't serve you.
Yeah.
Quick question. Did you ever get headaches?
Yes.
We will
Your world is changing right now.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
It's
You
my
schooled
pleasure.
me. You just, I don't know. I wish you didn't.
I'm glad.
I'm glad, and at the same time, I wish you didn't come because now I realize something.
No, I'm glad I did come in because you need it. So
Thank you
I
so
think
much.
Michelle's going to teach us some yoga poses during the break. Michelle, thanks so much.
Thank you,
All
guys.
the best for you and your career and
Thank
all
you
of
so
the
much.
things. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have
We're
lots more.
talking, you and I. We're talking, you and I.